Right from the start, you can feel this isn't a normal probation check-in. The judge already has 2 show cause violations ready. That means this hearing isn't about discussion, it's about consequences.
Okay, Heather, can you tell me, just make sure that we do?
Judge, I do. It's up here on my desk.
Okay, good enough. Your appearance?
Edward Zelenak for the defendant, and please give yours.
Heather Simmons.
All right, so I've called in probation.
Did you catch that? A bench warrant was already issued because she didn't show up earlier. In court, missing a date is like lighting a fuse. Judges do not forget that, even if it gets cleared later.
They'll be here momentarily. I have a show cause that she pled not guilty to, or I entered a not guilty plea to failure to refrain from violating a law, being convicted of drug paraphernalia possession through the 27th on December 10th. And then I have another one here that alleges she failed to refrain from consuming alcohol or drugs, testing positive for alcohol on March the 9th. And she indicated in a form, she admitted that she consumed alcohol or drank a pint of vodka on March 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. So I have 2 show causes here, 2 different ones. So this one is dated March the 10th, and that is the use of alcohol. So she never showed up on the March the 3rd, it looks like, right?
Have they adjourned that date?
Okay, well, let me just check something here.
And in the interim, we've got in place the mental health board docket and why not. That's the intervening factor.
Heather, did
Yes,
Mr.
Judge.
Zelnick file his appearance before or after March 3rd?
I believe it was, let me look, Judge, because there was a little confusion on when I got it.
That's fine.
It was, I believe, right.
This is a critical legal moment. The judge is explaining her rights because once she says guilty, there is no trial, no witnesses, no defense. She's trading her rights for the court's mercy.
Around that date.
Okay, so good enough. I don't know what happened, but she wasn't here March 3rd, and I did issue a bench warrant, but maybe that crossed with your...
Judge, I have it right here. It was March 2nd we put it in.
Okay, so no problem. So I've got 2 show causes to deal with. One is the show cause of January 20, for failure to refrain from violating the law, and the additional one is from the show cause of March the 10th, for failure to refrain from consuming alcohol. So how is she going to proceed on these?
Your Honor, she's going to enter a plea to both probation violations, and I have been in correspondence with your probation department to indicate that she's been accepted into the mental health court in Wyandotte in her sentence. It was April 8th. We asked the court to consider postponing sentence until she's admitted into the program, unless probation has a better idea today.
Ms. Wilds, your name?
Elizabeth Wasserich, Your Honor.
Do you want to plead guilty to these charges, ma'am?
Yes.
If you plead guilty to the charge of violating the law, being convicted of drug paraphernalia, that is a
This is the moment the tone of the hearing changes. A pint of vodka for 4 straight days. Now, the judge isn't just seeing a violation. He's seeing a serious alcohol dependency problem tied to mental health.
That is a non-technical violation. You could have your probation revoked, and you could get 93 days on that. If you plead on the no alcohol charge, then you could get, since you have 1 prior technical violation, you could get 10 days on that. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You're presumed innocent. You have the right to a hearing. With a hearing, you have the right to question their witnesses, to bring in your own, to use the subpoena powers of the court to bring in those witnesses. If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights on the advice of rights that I just covered with you, and there will be no hearing. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
All right. Any questions before I ask you how you plead? All right. To the charge that you were convicted of possession of drug paraphernalia out of Wyandotte on December 10 of 25. How do you plead?
Yes.
Were you convicted of drug paraphernalia on December 10 of 25.
Yes.
And you were on probation to this court when that offense occurred, correct?
Yes.
And to the charge that you consumed alcohol and were positive for alcohol at DNA on March the 9th, how do you plead?
Yes.
Did you consume alcohol, say, within the 3 days preceding that?
3 days prior, you could smell alcohol within 3 days prior to taking the test. Close to that?
It was close, yeah.
All right. Anybody force you to plead guilty?
Yeah.
All right. Give me 1 second here. There's all kinds of paperwork. All right. I'll accept your plea. You failure to refrain from consuming alcohol, testing positive March the 9th. I'll accept your plea to possession of to violating a law, being convicted of possession of drug paraphernalia out of Wyandotte on December 10th of 25. All right. Give me a second here. All right. Anything that you would like to say?
Your Honor, I haven't heard what the current probation recommendation is, but I believe they welcome her admission into the treatment court, mental health court in 27th District Court. And if you're going to impose any more serious sanctions, we'd ask the court to pass on that date and adjourn it pending for admission.
The only problem is here, we're coming to the end. I can't really send her to the mental health treatment court.
No, she's in there already. She's on the drug charge in Wyandotte. We got her admitted into the court.
No, I get it, but I'm not gonna.
Or assess penalties today, but I'd ask you not to look for incarceration, perhaps other punishment, because she's going in that program. She's done very well meeting with the group already, and I think this is clearly over other issues been over the years leading to this collapse. I mean, there's a serious mental health issue here.
No, I believe you, but the problem is I'm coming to the, well, I mean, I guess I've got until I sentenced her on November 7th, so I have until November 7th of this year. But I'm not excited about her violations. What did she do and not do, Ms. Wiles?
Yes, the violations that you see are the outstanding issues. Ms. Timmons was actually fairly compliant on probation. We did have a violation prior for alcohol consumption. After that, she did really well. She's engaged in treatment at the guidance center. Outside of this testing and this conviction, she was sober on her testing. The admit form from March 9th, my concern is what she admitted to was drinking on the 5th.
This is the moment the tone of the hearing changes. A pint of vodka for 4 straight days. Now, the judge isn't just seeing a violation. He's seeing a serious alcohol dependency problem tied to mental health.
March, the 6th of March, the 7th of March, and the 8th of March, a pint of alcohol each day.
Right.
So I'm very concerned, and obviously mental health court is a great positive thing, but I was gonna bring up, we are limited if anything would run concurrent over there or at the same time. Ms. Timmons does show for her appointments, she communicates well with me, but I think she has a severe alcohol problem that again, may be co-occurring with mental.
What about relapse prevention? What about something like that?
She's engaged in actual treatment right now at the guidance center.
Okay.
Yeah, with Alex.
Okay. How often is she testing right now?
At this point, we had her on weekly, Your Honor. I think we from her last violation, and I think I bumped her down. I want to make sure that we have her on, I think, monthly at this point in time.
Have her what?
On monthly at this point in time. She complied. We reduced her. She was weekly down to twice monthly, and then down to monthly at this point.
How often is she testing in
All 30 tests on my.
Wyandotte?
They haven't told me yet. I would assume it would be after my sentencing.
Is she on a sober link or anything?
No, Your Honor. Judge, clearly monthly doesn't work when
Right, I know.
slam a pint down.
Oh,
No, you're being upfront, you admitted it, and there's no correlating to what happened, just, I suggest you say nothing else. Because you can't, no matter what the pain is of the rest of your life, you can't drink to assuage the pain.
Where does she work at?
sure.
Where do you work?
I'm unemployed, like, I'm on SSI.
So this troubles me. What kind of drug paraphernalia was it?
It was a Red Bull.
Well, shit.
Adderall in a glass. Without prescription.
No, I have to issue.
Why, you didn't have it prescribed too, it was
Right.
not in a box. It's a minor case, I believe they're taking it under the public health code as well. But irrespective of that, she pled guilty before I represented her. And all the pieces together.
Here's what we're doing.
This may sound strict, but this is actually a very light sentence for 2 violations. The judge is sending a message. I'm giving you structure, not a cell. But the warning is crystal clear. One more mistake, and jail is next.
I'm gonna go light on the cost. I'm gonna charge you $25, but you're to test bi-weekly going forward. You're to serve 1 day on the court work program, and you're to pay $35 for that. You're to serve 8 hours of community service by April the 30th. You're to be on a sober link by the end of the day for 60 days. You're going to have to pay for it. You listen to me very carefully. I just assessed costs that were very, very, very nominal because I understand, but either that or I'm going to have to send you to jail today. You don't want that, right? Sober link for 60 days by end of day. 8 hours community service by April 30. Continue your treatment at the guidance center. Test bi-weekly. Serve 1 day on the court work program and pay $35 for that. Did I miss anything?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Nothing, Your Honor.
All right.
Just understand that the price of sober links could end up being a lot cheaper than time.
I got to make sure, one thing, Miss Wilds. When is her probation supposed to be up? I gave her 18
July
months.
7 of 26 is what I have for 18 months from the November date of 24 with the sentence.
I'll let it go at that, but any more violations, you have a big problem with me. I don't care when you pay the $25. You can set that up with her, okay? Thank you. Good
Thank you,
luck.
Your Honor.
Thank you. Ma'am, no more of this, please. No
No
more,
more of this.
please. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.